So, one of the first things she would do is probably head back to Northrend and talk to the Hunter's Watch, make sure they're all set up and everything, and leave her journal there. And I remember from the Dream one-shot, there was a rival that Fred set up for her.
Yes.
Yeah, she would leave the journal with them and tell them to lead the watch better than anyone else could. Because as much as they might have butted heads, she recognized their skill.
And outside the watch?
Outside the watch?
How's with you and Anilla? You've won Danny's approval at long last.
I feel...
And you're a notable figure amongst the Winter Court.
Through this whole thing... See, as Garth, I would have probably had her sing at some point, but since we're doing this in the narrative thing, she would have saved it for...
I mean, I think the best part to have done it would have been the boat ride over.
Yeah. Let's go with that, yeah. The non-bard singing a song for everyone. And
Not for everyone, just for her.
Just for her. And then one night, just in the future, no specific night, no specific thing, she would just sneak a ring on her finger. Chenri's not someone... Yeah, Chenri's not somebody that wants a big show. That being said, she would definitely mention to Anilla the next day, like, if you want, I will absolutely go with it.
She asks you if you would like to become a fairy.
Ah, that's a lot of hesitation, isn't it?
There's a lot of people that are going to become eternal. The squad, a lot of them, if not all of them. And she gets a sneaking suspicion the rest of your group as well.
I don't... Before this whole thing, I would have shot that down instantly. Because I am not the kind of person for...
She remarks, I look at Danny, she's a fairy, and she's still utterly incorrigible.
I know, right? But, with you being there, I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
And that's just where that goes. And then they have a billion kids. No.
I do have to expedite this, because I actually should have left
go ahead.
40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
Seema? How does it look for Seema's end? She's suddenly gained saint status.
Yeah.
Oh, she's cutting out.
Sorry, no, I'm just pushing with I'm fighting with my push to talk because I have a key bind to it that was typing. No, so Seema, she had made a promise to Karim that once she got her revenge, she was going to live her life. And she still wasn't, quite sure about what that means and how she would live her life for herself. So she decided that the next best thing for that would be to live her life for other people. So she moved back to, the Temple District where she grew up and started an orphanage and had just a bunch of kids that weren't her kids, but she took care of. And of course had coin.
Fitting. You probably even had to talk business at some point with head lady Avatlina, if you remember her from Dovros and her goat children. She got cured. So did her kids.
Yay, my goat babies!
They're not goat babies anymore.
Oh.
Anything else?
They are in my heart.
Anything else?
I think the main thing is that, she reconnected with, the people who had raised her, but stayed connected with Noxalas, who, were truly her family. So she had a family again.
Ha, nerd. Alright. I'm trying to get dressed while doing this. I apologize.
Do your thing.
Aldrich? How did Aldrich's story end?
He would retire for a time.
Ascari doesn't
Couple of
hate you
months.
anymore, at least.
Pardon?
Ascari doesn't hate you anymore, at least.
No, that's true. He would retire for a time, a couple of months, have some time away with just him and Danaway. Away
She's
from
100% for that.
yeah, away from everything else, and then just enjoy life for a bit. Then he'd ask her where she wants to settle. Pick a town, make it ours.
You guys have the appreciation of King Lucian Severin the Reverend himself. Just pick a spot.
Yeah, I'll let her pick.
He'll fucking make you nobles of it. If you want, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't know, if depending on how things turn out, maybe have a kid.
Fair enough.
Keep in touch with everyone.
Fair enough.
Open door invitation kind of thing, guest rooms, the whole shebang.
Fitting.
Also get in touch with Marshall every now and then, just to keep the edge. Sparring. I don't know, Marshall wanted to do some training he's mentioned in the past, I think, so I'll aid him in that.
Fair.
I think
Anything
that's
else?
it.
Marshall?
Oh,
Start of school, I know, is definitely there.
so coming out with the crystals, he wasn't the same. The void, it took its toll on us, and he just couldn't be the fighter he was anymore. He just didn't have it. His body was withered, aged. So he started his school. He did the thing he knew what was right. He knighted Tala and promoted her as asked Lucian for her to be in his royal guard.
Consider it done. I'd be honored. You're among the number that saved my life. Of course.
So he spent his few years starting his school, training the next generation, as he always wanted to do. Before the time caught up to him, and he passed away 2 years later.
Shame. But it's a fitting end. And you see, in your afterlife, amongst Krognick's Hall, your first sparring buddy is Astorius. I've been waiting for you. Shall we?
Just gives him a nod of approval.
And thus, my friends, feel free to send me personally or in the provincial chat other details about your character's epilogue. Again, I apologize, I can't go further in there.
I do have one thing.
Yes?
Saurus gives Lycia and Leon a nod, and returns to Hell, because someone needs to hold that spot.
And you're actually deemed a saint, weirdly enough. You're a saint that brought back a devil, an archdevil, to the fold. One of the weirder saintdom descriptions, but it's yours. Thank you all so much for playing with me in this campaign.
It's been an honor.
I'm surprised we actually, even though we went way later than I expected, that's why I'm late, I'm surprised we got as far as we got and we made it to the end.
Man,
I hope you guys had a fun time.
It was worth every moment.
We certainly did.
We have the other campaign. Taryn, you're free to join it whenever you wish. It's much more pop-in, pop-out friendly if you're good. Or you can just live your life. It's whatever.
Very much not opposed to popping in every once in a while.
We shall see then.
You'll always be welcome, because you're really fun to have around.
Indeed. I hope you guys find your own personal arcs and stories brought to some fulfillment and closure. It's hard to do this, again, 2/3 of campaign in a session, but
Yeah.
I think it went awesome.
Considering, yes.
Yeah, thank you for that, Craig.
no problem. I was tearing up plenty during it. Tearing up now.
Yeah, I'm all emotional over here.
Anyway.
I'll tell you the rest, at some point, the rest of the epilogues will happen to Nevi, Owen, the squad, stuff like that. But I gotta get going. Someone, be sure to turn off Asonia on your way out.
Alright, have fun, drive safe.
Have a good night to those of you that are going to sleep, and I'll seeing some of you on Saturday. Thank you so much. Truly. Later.
Thanks,
Thank
Crash.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.